Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is 12:31. It's a beautiful day today. It's a very beautiful day. It's not too hot, not too cold. The sun is out, good enough to put the washing outside, but maybe still need a hoodie, which is perfect weather for me. Now, look, I'm making this video to kind of argue my point that the 9 to 5 isn't actually that bad. It is not that bad. It is not what it seems like it is on social media. I think that, what with social media and the manosphere and all this shit, it just gets a bit lost. And you think that, well, I think that a younger person kind of coming into kind of growing up and learning about the world of work, you'd think that it's very strict and that your manager's going to be very overbearing and that, it's just miserable, it's just despair and dystopia and all this. But, I graduated last year, been in work for 7 months, and it's really not that bad. All right, it's really not that bad. It absolutely does depend on what company you're at and the culture, and it definitely matters who your manager is because there definitely are some micromanagers. But for the most part, it is not really the reality is quite different to what you see when you're scrolling on Instagram. So I just need to make that clear. I mean, you don't need to clock in and clock out. It's the world is getting a lot more flexible with hybrid working. I'm working 2 days from home now, and I kind of enjoy it. I love it. I love a break from the office. I love being able to do some housework during work time. It really does depend on you. So, yeah, I just want to set the record straight. It's really not that bad. I think it's been kind of glorified that you should start content creating as soon as possible and try and gain financial freedom, but it's actually very difficult, by the way. It's very, very difficult. I think the amount of people who have made it, obviously, they make it seem very easy, and that's because they're good at what they do. But to do that on a day to day basis, starting from zero, I think is very difficult. I'm not even sure if I was a content creator what I would do. Like, I don't particularly want to be famous, but if I wanted to be doing social media, I'm not sure what I would do. Like, I live a pretty boring life, and I think that is what a lot of people would struggle with. So, the grass is always greener where you water it. It definitely does depend on you. Social media is not for everyone. Some people just want to live a peaceful life. I think I am living that life at the moment. I know I could definitely be doing more, but I'm pretty happy with my 9 to 5, to be honest with you. And I think what another determining factor that I everybody should kind of take into account is the commute time. Like, a lot of people, you'd think that from the 9 to 5, everyone's commuting an hour, just being stuck in traffic and getting in the tube and hot and sweaty and all that. But again, it's not the same for everyone. Some people are walking to work, which is actually quite nice. I My commute is about a 10-15 minute drive, which isn't that bad. So, it's you have to live your life by design. And I think that's what people are kind of realizing now, not just with going into social media, but just in general. They're asking a lot more from the companies in terms of the hybrid work, and some of them can even work from a different location if it doesn't matter. I think there's a lot more of an emphasis on getting work done instead of filling up your hours, which I think is a very, very good thing, especially in my kind of finance. Do you need to be at the office for 9 o'clock if you have no meetings or anything? Like, I could still get my work done if I come in at 9:15 or if I leave at 4:45, it just doesn't matter anymore. And I think people are getting a lot more chilled out, which really only works to the benefit for us. So, you know, I hope that kind of clears some things up. Social media really isn't that bad. I mean, it's not that bad. It's definitely not that bad. But the whole concept of working at a company or something like that shouldn't be the worst thing in the world for you, I think. It's not that bad. The people that I meet as well, some of them are really funny and you might actually make a friend. I'll be honest, if I went into social media, I would have no friends. Like, if I just started content creating just by myself, I'm really not sure what, or I'm not sure who I would be really speaking to, if anyone, if I would get any kind of social interaction on a day to day basis. I know that people like to collab and stuff, but and you would obviously make friends doing that, but I don't know, does that friendship kind of depend on how many views you're getting? I'm not sure. I obviously don't know. But yeah, it's a bit weird. I imagine that the whole thing kind of feels a bit business-like, perhaps. I don't know. This the kind of knowing that you're kind of using each other to boost your own viewership is a bit weird. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. But again, you could also be just really good friends, which is quite nice. But I don't know how that works. I probably never will, and that's fine. But I'm saying, you know, just being in a 9 to 5, being in a steady paying job isn't the worst thing in the world and has worked out pretty well for most people. And I think it's only going to get better, if I'm honest with you, with this change of culture that we're seeing in the marketplace. Um, so if you're young and coming up right now, you're probably going to be you're probably going to be fine. You are probably going to be fine. That's it for now. I think I was rambling quite a lot and making the same amount of points, but I'm also putting this new stock video. Way. I just think it might be a bit more engaging. I'm not sure. I think you tend to get more views when there's kind of something on the screen. So yeah, I'm gonna see how it works out. Bye.